What's going on, guys? Another episode here on the Laces Out podcast. Bunk, we did it as a whole, man. We made it every single week from week 1 all the way to week 18. We did it, man. How's it going?
Yeah, what's up, man? It's been a fun ride. I missed a couple weeks here and there, but I've enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I mean, of course we were going to have some weeks that we were going to miss, but still kept it going. Even if you weren't here, we had Waterboy, and if Waterboy wasn't here, we had you. So in my book, we did it. So we're good. We uploaded each week. So, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the Laces Out podcast from 1 all the way to week 18. We do plan on possibly doing a Super Bowl special one, maybe if everyone's down for it. But either way, nevertheless, let's knock out this last episode here, Bunk, of the Laces Up podcast this season. I guess, what do you want to really kind of start off on? We can talk about the Dolphins head coach getting canned. Do you want to go ahead and start with that?
Yeah, man. Obviously, they call it Black Monday for a reason, because that's like doomsday for NFL head coaches. But there was some obvious ones like Nagy. I think everybody knew he was out. The Vikings had kind of leaked that Zimmer was going to be out. But Flores, man, that really caught me off guard. I think he's done an amazing job. As the Dolphins head coach. We know how bad that team has been for a long time.
Yeah.
And he had a positive record against the Patriots in his tenure there, winning seasons. I don't know what more you can ask. Like, they started off 0-7 and finished 9-7 or 9-8, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you can ask from him. Tua hasn't played great. And we know as Panthers fans how important quarterback play is. And for him to have a winning record with an unstable quarterback at best, my hat's off to the guy. I would love for him to come to Carolina.
Bring him in. Panthers right now looking, no. As far as what I was told, and we can talk about this though, is Matt Rule's also not expected to go anywhere. Where he's expected to come back next year. But like you said, Flores being an option, does this mean anything for the Panthers? Do you think they're still going to ride it out with a Rule? Fingers are crossed for us, obviously. But yeah, man, Flores, when he got canned, I feel like we know Dill TV. He's a big Dolphins fan. So I saw a ton of tweets by him. I've seen a ton of tweets, or not tweets, but mentions by Hexorcist, a big Dolphin fan as well. He's really pissed off that whose idea was it to get rid of him whenever he's not even that bad of a coach? I would say a good coach. I have no idea. I don't know.
From what I read today is, apparently the GM, who's been the GM there for like 20 years or so, he's long tenured GM. Apparently there was kind of a power struggle between him and Flores. So it was kind of either one or the other had to go. And I guess the owner felt like the GM was better to keep than Flores. So
yeah, I think
that's crazy.
The GM might have something over on the owner.
He's got to. You got a coach like him in place, man. Good coaches are hard to find, man. Out of the NFL, Flores has to be one of the top guys I would want. The only other ones I would want over him would be like a Mike Tomlin, a Matt LaFleur, Andy Reid. There's very few that I would pick over him. He's top 10 probably that I would want in the NFL. So
do you think he's gonna get signed like ASAP, or do you think he's gonna get some time to really think about his next location?
I mean, I think that's going to be up to him, but I think he's going to get. I think he probably got some calls today. Like,
Oh, 100%.
I
He's
mean,
having these dinners
Chicago,
probably right now.
yeah,
Just sit
absolutely.
down.
Chicago needs a new coach. Vikings need a new coach, and who knows who else.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah. I
definitely
mean,
going to be a hot commodity.
yeah, for sure. I mean, Chicago and the Vikings, I mean, in the same division, probably fighting over to see if they can get Florida. I mean, I'm sure people who even have coaches like the organization, like Panthers and stuff, are still looking out for him, asking if they want to have a nice interview over the phone, over
Yep.
Zoom tonight, possibly. I'm sure he's got a lot of meetings. But yeah, I mean, that's just wild. But on the other hand, as a Panther fan, not the best season for us. I mean, we've had some injuries, not just in our offensive line, but also J.C. Horn. There's another guy who started off the season hot and then got taken away due to injury. So, as a Panther fan going in the off season, what is your thoughts and what do you think we need to do going into this off season?
So I mean, let's just play devil's advocate. We keep Matt Rule, right? Because that looks like the plan as of now.
Right.
One thing that frustrates me though as a Panthers fan is David Tepper's silence. Like, he has not once came out and said anything about anything. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, one of the first things he said when he came here was he wasn't going to accept mediocrity, and here we are, 2 seasons in a row, 5-11 and 5-12. Like, I mean, if that's not less than mediocrity, then I don't know what mediocrity is. But besides that, let's say we keep Matt Rule, then we got a decision to make at quarterback. We got Sam Darnold locked up through next year. Cam Newton's deal is up. Obviously, we just gave him a 1-year deal. So do we bring him back and play the 2 QB system? I saw today they're re-signing P.J. Walker for a 1-year deal. So if they let Cam walk, then you've got Darnold and P.J. Walker. I mean, they've already thrown away so much money at the QB position in the last few years. Like, do you just ride it out next season and then address the quarterback after next season?
Same with the headline that I just read before we started the podcast, saying we don't have any intention of getting rid of McCaffrey as well. So so that's another piece that before this week we were still thinking he still could be a possibility to get traded. And are we bringing on a Deshaun Watson? I mean, that's still a possibility, I guess, depending on what they want to do. I think as a Panther fan, no one knows what's going to happen at the QB position. And that being said, are we signing Cam as a backup? Is he going to be our starter next year? I think we're in the woods right now when it comes to the QB situation.
I will say this though, something that throws a little wrench in the Deshaun Watson thing is the reason he wanted to go to Miami was for Flores.
Right.
He loved Flores. That's why he wanted to go to Miami. So with Flores out, Carolina was his second pick. So who knows? I mean, and he's got a trade clause, so he gets to decide where he wants to go.
True.
So that'll be interesting to watch. I did see something today where they're determined to make a decision, I think, by March or something. I don't know what's significant about March or whatever, but so within the next couple of months, maybe we'll find out about Deshaun Watson. But going back to the Panthers, obviously the O-line. I mean, we got to do something about the O-line. I mean, it's like trying to catch water in a cauldron right now. Like, it ain't working.
Well, especially with the it coming up, the draft, we have to draft the offensive line, right? Like, I'm going to be shocked. And these are the times that happen, like, all the time. You see a draft coming, you're expecting an offensive line drafted, and then boom, they get another QB or they get a defensive back, just a random position other than what they very needed. Like, and fans all know what we're trying to get, but is that going to happen with the Panthers? Is it a possibility where there's not going to be offensive line drafted?
It's possible, man. I mean, you look at last year's draft. Like, I love J.C. Horn. I think he's going to be awesome. I think he would have he would have been up there for defensive rookie of the year if he didn't get hurt. But like left tackles and right tackles and guards, like they don't grow on trees, man. If you get a top 10 pick and you got a chance to get a cornerstone guard or tackle, like you got to take that opportunity. I'm not saying there was, because I don't recall the top 10 draft right off the top of my head, but I mean that's where trading McCaffrey to me comes in and makes sense, because if I can trade him and get, let's just say, a first round and a second rounder or whatever somebody's willing to give up, and then you got three picks in the top 2 rounds, I'm drafting 3 offensive linemen. I mean,
yeah.
The best available offensive lineman, and you roll with it. I mean, we got Taylor Moton, who's one of the best in the league. And I was impressed with Brady Christensen this season when they put him in his position, which was left tackle. Now, when they were playing him in other positions, he didn't look that great. But the last 2 or 3 games, I think, they put him at tackle, and he looked good. But, like, Miller is terrible. F-line is terrible. Irving is bad. I mean, it's just we need some big guys in the middle. I mean, like Dave Gettleman, everybody gives him a hard time, but that's one thing he knew the importance of, was drafting in the trenches. Like whether it was offense or defense, he would draft the big guys that he knew. I mean, that's the basis of your team. If you got a good D line and a good O line, you probably got a good team.
Yeah, and you're looking back at some of the picks we had, like J.C. Horn. Let me go back further. Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns. Those were all great picks. And you're looking at the defensive side, and I think we did a great job on defensive pickups, everything. Having Hassan Reddick come in, all that was great. But let's start leaning back toward the other side of the ball, because right now those guys are really hurting, and it's because the defense doesn't look as good right now because they're always on the field and they're just having to be there all the time. So yeah, just get these guys some help, and maybe our offense can be on the field a little bit longer than 5 minutes. And I'm talking about total 5 minutes. I mean, I never see the Panthers on offense, and then when it is never good unless it's the first drive of the game. But either way, yeah, man, I'm with you. I really hope that offensive line at least grows from this past year. If not, then I don't know what we're doing. And yeah, that QB situation is very tough here in Carolina. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but fingers are crossed. I'm not excited with anybody who we have right now on the roster at QB. PJ Walker, he's a great backup. That's cool. I'm glad we re-signed him. But the Sam Darnold part, I was banking on him this year. I spent almost $300 of my money into his cards. Might as well have just threw it in the fire. And now I just know he's not it. He's not the guy. He's not our franchise guy. And I think everyone's starting to already lean toward that, as in, we were just banking on it. Hopefully he was just really bad in New York, and that was probably some of the case. I mean, he definitely had a few good plays or something in Carolina, but still not the franchise quarterback we're looking for. So maybe we'll work on that on the offseason. Hopefully, like you said, by March we can get a decision.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, don't know what the issue is, because, like you said, some plays he makes phenomenal throws, like just phenomenal throws where you're like, dang, that's an NFL quarterback throw right there. But one thing I've noticed about him is his feet. Like, he's got happy feet. Like, I don't know if he's scared. I don't know if the O-line just sucks so bad that he's, like, just waiting to get aside. Like, I don't know.
He might just know that they suck, and he knows that they're coming. He knows that 300-pound linemen are coming after him. I mean, I think we would all have happy feet if that was the case. But you might be right. Hopefully, if they do fix that issue on the offensive line, we might see a new Sam Darnold. That is another possibility. Like you said, we still owe him money. He's still on the roster. We're going to probably keep him on the roster. Now, being a starter, we don't know yet, but like you said, if that's the case and he starts being a stud quarterback because we actually have someone to protect him, that would be nice as well. And that I think that's what they're hoping for, but I really hope they have a backup plan. Because if we keep seeing the Sam Darnold we saw this year again next year, we're gonna be not happy here in Carolina.
Well, I think one big thing is who they bring in as offensive coordinator. Supposedly interviewing Jay Gruden and Bill O'Brien, which I'm not excited about at all. So, I mean, we'll see who they bring in as offensive coordinator, what kind of scheme they have. And then see what they do with the offensive line. I mean, honestly, when I look at our team, that is the only weakness. I mean, I think we're good at receiver. I think we're good on defense at every level. The moves we've made and the people we brought in, hopefully they bring Reddick back.
I hope so.
Gilmore, Horn coming back, healthy, Chin, Burns. I mean, we're talented on defense. We really are. I mean, maybe we need a new coordinator because, I mean, he didn't get the best out of them, obviously.
Right.
But I think the offensive coordinator is going to determine a lot. What kind of scheme he brings, and can Christian McCaffrey come back healthy if we don't trade him? I mean, he's a big X factor, man. If he's healthy and on the field for 17 games, I don't think we finish 5-12.
I mean, you see it in FanDuel. Everyone's plugging him into lineups. If he's active, everyone has him. He's just an automatic plug-in.
Yeah, and I think we're a better team with him on the field. I mean, it takes pressure off the quarterback. Like Hubbard, I like Hubbard, but he's not gonna.
Right, he's not gonna lead like McCaffrey is.
Yeah, he's a good fill-in guy. A good pace break. Give your guy some rest, but he's not the guy.
All right, so, all this Panther talk is getting depressing.
Yeah, I got my box of tissues sitting right here.
Oh, I'm all out. I've already cried the whole season. So, all right. So, playoffs, man. What are your teams in these playoffs that who do you think's gonna go all the way? I mean, I know at the very, very beginning of the season we picked, Super Bowl teams, and I know me and you both had the Packers in it. So, I'm assuming does that stay?
I think so, man. The way Rodgers has played all year, like
MVP, right?
Dude, that guy. Like, I was looking at his stats today. Over the last 2 seasons, he's thrown like 90 touchdowns and like 8 interceptions or something. Like, it's stupid, man. Like, he's very careful with the ball. He's precise with his passes. He puts his team in positions to win. Like, if they're down with 2 minutes to go, like I believe they're gonna win.
Right.
I mean, I'm still really high on them. AFC, man, I see somebody knocking off the Chiefs. I don't think. They haven't looked like the powerhouse that they have been this season. So I think. I don't know, man. I think Buffalo's got a really good shot. I think Henry coming back for the Titans is going to be big for them because they've been playing great even without him. They've been winning a bunch of games. I don't know, man. I guess I think Buffalo would probably be my top pick in the AFC right now.
Yeah, I like the Buffalo pick, especially right now. I don't know if you've been watching, but their running backs as of recent, I would say in the last few games, like Singletary has actually been putting up numbers. So he's been starting to be a threat. You also got Zach Moss behind there, and he's just an athlete. So you got 2 good running backs there in Buffalo. They don't run much, but when they do, at least now they have like a safety net. Like, because at the beginning of the season, I wasn't in on Buffalo's running at all. So like, I wouldn't draft anyone for my fantasy football team. No running backs from Buffalo. All I wanted is the receivers, aka Josh Allen, Diggs combo, or even if you want to throw in Dawson Knox, because he popped off at the time, midway through the season. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm gonna have to say Bills, but I also want to say Bengals, man. I think that is one of those teams that is just going to be a sneaky, sneaky team to possibly make a little playoff run and get through. I mean, the combination right now with Burrow and Chase is just ridiculous. And also, you got Higgins there. You got Mixon playing well. And then you also got the Bengals defense, and they've been playing well all season. So that's a team that's kind of on my radar in the AFC. But I'm with you on the Chiefs. They just, they haven't showed us the Chiefs what they have been in the past. I know they could easily click and do it, but the defense isn't really there. And usually when the defense picks it up, they have to be home. So I don't know, man. I'm with you though. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of got beat early on in the playoffs. And everyone's shocked, but me and you, I don't think we'll be shocked on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they won the Super Bowl. I mean,
I wouldn't. I'm with you. Mahomes is that kind of guy where it's like, it's gonna happen. Like, he can throw the ball no look and throw 3 touchdowns by doing the same pass, and you're just like, how does he do this? I mean, but you got to have the other side of the ball too. So the defense,
One thing that stood out to me is point differential. The Bills are the best in the AFC. They have 194 positive points for against points against. The next of the playoff teams is the Patriots, and then the Chiefs. Actually, they're the third best point differential in the AFC at plus 116. So we'll see, man. I mean, I truly believe defenses win championships. I mean, we've seen it year after year. Obviously now is the era of just slinging the ball and, run and gun offense. But, I mean, even as recent as, I don't know, what was it, 2015, the Panthers lost to the Broncos, and they didn't have any offense. They were just all defense.
All defense,
I mean, it happens. So, we'll see, man. I'll take the Bills for sure. And I'll stick with the Packers.
So we got Bills and Packers in, and then who wins it for you?
I'm going with Rodgers, man. I'm riding him all the way.
Double check. Let's go.
I think.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm gonna pick them to win it. AFC to get in there. You know what? Just to make it fun. And before I make my pick, I also don't want, because I already know Hail Marys is probably already typing a comment. Yeah, I see you, Dennis. You know what? The Patriots, I do want to highlight them, give them credit. I mean, they definitely got the defense. They got Bill Belichick. I mean, greatest coach. So I don't want to count them out. I'm going to say that. Now, they're not my pick, so you can keep typing. I know your comment's going to be down there. But I just want to see the Bengals in there, man. For the AFC, I'm going for them. I'm not saying that they have the best shot at doing it, but I just want to see them in there. And then obviously, I'm going to pick the Packers to win the game. So I'm going to go Bengals, Packers. It's going to be mine, and go Packers. But yeah, man, I would like to see Burrow get to the Super Bowl, like with Jamar Chase, and just be like, I've done that. So
I would too, man. I love Burrow. I love his swagger. I love his leadership, his team respects him. I mean, he's freaking young 20s, and he's carrying a franchise. I mean, you gotta love it.
Especially with it's the Bengals. It's not like you've heard the Bengals in a long time. I mean, what, since Chad Johnson back on there? Like, we haven't heard from them. So yeah, Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson combo. Like, that's the last time I've heard about them, playing well. So I would like to see them.
I'm glad you mentioned the Patriots, though. I mean, mad respect for Mac Jones and and Bill Belichick. I mean, for them to make the playoffs with a rookie QB,
Yeah.
I mean, after losing Tom Brady, I mean, shoot, I mean, you gotta hats off to them.
Yeah, and for sure. I mean, they're just a team you can never count out. It's just like what you said with the Chiefs, how I wouldn't be surprised if they got eliminated, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they win the Super Bowl. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I feel about the Patriots. Anytime, like
Yeah.
if you were to tell me like right now, Patriots going to win the Super Bowl, I have a time machine, I already know, and I'd be like, go figure. It's just
Yeah, after
one of
I went
those
to Vegas and put a bunch of money on
for real, for real. So.
So you think?
Well,
So you think you picked the Packers? So obviously the Bucks are going to lose. So you don't think Brady's going to run it back?
no, I mean that's another team that I wouldn't
Yeah.
be shocked if they made it, but and also the Rams. The Rams is also from the NFC that I could see in it. I could see the Rams, Bucks, and Packers in the Super Bowl, but yeah, I don't think he's going to go back to back this season. I think it means a little bit too much for Rodgers
Yeah.
for him to let this one slip. So I think Rodgers is going to go out with a bang for
He's on a
Green
tear,
Bay.
man. He's on a FU parade to the
Yeah.
NFL.
And everyone's loving it. Everyone in the
Yeah.
NFL, besides obviously the Green Bay front office, is loving it. And obviously the Green Bay fans, are loving it just for him. But after this season, where does he go? I don't know. But
Interesting.
either way, that it is what it is. Well, before we call it the last show of the season, like I said, possibly do a Super Bowl special or something with Waterboy as well. But anything you want to say before we sign off?
Just want to congratulate the Bob Squad for championship in the UCFL. Congratulate Mr. Discounts on the Average Joes. And just shout out to everybody in the UCFL. Making it a fun fantasy season and just enjoyable experience. Besides Pete and Brad. No, I'm just kidding. It was a good season. I just hate that my team was so bad. So I'm coming for you guys next year. Be ready.
Well, yeah, and I'll add on to that. Congratulations to the Bob Squad for sure in the UCFL. He said 2 times has a good ring to it, so he's already talking a little bit of shit. So you got to give him credit on that. And for myself, for winning the Average Joes, that was awesome. First year of Average Joes. Thanks to Hex for hosting that, and possibly snag you in next season. And King Chris, I'm glad I smacked you, man. But no, I appreciate it, dude. Great sportsmanship about it as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the Laces Out podcast throughout the season. I know, we're gonna continue to do our best to make it even more professional going into next year. We possibly might have an intro. And some logos, and possibly get more people in the Discord is what I'm hoping for. So anyway, yeah, that's it for the Laces Out podcast. I appreciate everyone watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and Bunk, I guess we're out of here.
Signing off.
See you guys. See you next season.